The oldest house in Wake County is located on the corner of Hargett and St. Mary's Streets in Raleigh. Though it seems small by today's standards, in the late 1700s, the Joel Lane house was once deemed the best house for 100 miles.
Joel Lane was a fourth-generation colonist. His ancestors came from England through Jamestown, and we're trying to verify it, but sometime after 1607. They were not in the first wave at Jamestown, but around 1610 or 1612. And they settled in southeastern Virginia and then migrated to northeastern North Carolina, Halifax County. He was born about 1739 up in Halifax County, North Carolina, to a very prominent family. He moved to this part of the state in about 1769.
Joel Lane was a wealthy landowner of a vast plantation in what was the Carolina backcountry in the 1700s. As such, he was an active participant in North Carolina politics. He became known as the father of Wake County and the father of Raleigh.
He was the man who in 1792 sold 1,000 acres to the state of North Carolina to create the capital city, Raleigh, here on his land. We found a copy of a letter he wrote to Frederick Hargett, who was one of the commissioners who chose his land, saying, if you don't come, the eastern interest may prevail. And we can only guess what that means, perhaps Fayetteville or other towns to the east that wanted to be the capital.
Tours began at the Visitor Center.
It was a building that was built about 1840, so it's not as old as Joel Lane's house, but it was attached to this building when it was in its original location, and then was removed when the house was restored. We also have an 18th century middle-class home that was in the northern part of Wake County and brought down here in 1979 to be an example of how most people lived during that time period. It was built, we think, around 1790, and it's a one-room structure with a loft upstairs, and it's a wonderful example of how most people lived in this period. So generally on tours, we take people in there first, and then we bring them in here into Lane's house, and as viewers can see, there's plaster on the wall, there's paint on the woodwork. Ceilings are about 14 feet tall. This room is larger than that other house. So they get an idea of what an upper class plantation owner's home was like. We do have a few things that came from the family, but for the most part our artifacts were purchased or donated over the years.
In addition, visitors can see an 18th century herb garden, as well as an example of a formal colonial garden.
We hope visitors, when they leave here, will have a much richer understanding of American history, why their ancestors came from other countries, and against a great deal of hardship managed to create a new nation. Because if people like the Lanes hadn't come here, North Carolina wouldn't be what it is, and the United States wouldn't be what it is.
This is Derek Long for North Carolina Weekend.
The Joel Lane Museum House is located at 728 West Hargett Street on the corner of St. Mary's and Hargett Streets in Raleigh. The Visitor Center is located at 160 South St. Mary's Street. For more information about events, hours, and tours, call 919-833-3431 or go online to joellane.org.